Major was singing, you let him sewa mayai. Muite mwambia gonge mbili. Cindy, finish for me. Finish the
I mean
Cindy wouldn't know to save her life.
I'm okay. I'm okay with not knowing. Imagine. I am okay.
I think he was talking about Charlene Ruto, no? Yeah. The president's daughter? No. Now, in a statement that got KOT in disbelief, Charlene narrated how she used to run a Smokie Pasua hustle when she was in Campo, while she was already the then deputy president's daughter. Her former classmates and clients have since come out to defend her against doubting Thomases. Do we have the video? All right, let's take a look.
We have a father who believes in saving. Kiona trying a hustle fund, Alianza from home. I remember when I was in university, I started a business of selling smoky kachumbari. I was in Daystar University. Smoky kachumbari. And he really encouraged me that small business I was doing. And one principle he taught me that I want you to do it.
You know, I don't think I'm surprised that he's that kind of person,
that, yeah.
You know, because he seems like, you know, he will tell you to go, you know, work, you know, just make a name for yourself, even though, yes, if things don't work out for you, you have a stable home and you come from a wealthy, well-off family. But I think it helps when you instill those values in your children. And I think we all know someone from a very rich family who doesn't need to work, but somehow they still work. And you're like, why was I not in that position where I can just choose and pick?
Yeah. You know, there are two reasons. There are two reasons why people work. One, you work to earn a living, like your life depends on it. And the other one is to prove to your parents that you can also make your own way.
Yeah.
You have all the money at home. It's like those, you know, rebel kids who they have all the money at home, but they're always hanging out with the financially unable kids.
You mean with us?
The Watus.
And for some reason, those are usually the coolest ones. Yeah. But also, I think it's really interesting how we have this approach where we do not believe people who have money are the ones who instill the money principles in their children very early in life.
That is true.
Exactly.
And for you to have generational wealth, you have to do this with your children as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like when you're struggling, you know, most of us from struggling families, what we do is you struggle, then you get there, then your kids enjoy your money. You don't teach them how to need that money. So in your absence, one generation later, your family is back to where you was before you struggled.
Yeah, that is very true.
So let me just understand this.
We have to take a quick break. I'm so sorry, we have to take a break. But do tell us what you think about it. You know, for dads or moms who are well off and they don't want, you know, their kids to just stay at home and just enjoy their money and sending them out to work. What is the thought process behind that? Are you a kid who your dad is well off, but like bado anakuambia uamke saa 10 ya asubuhi uende ukatafute you know, just for you to go and grind? Do tell us on Twitter. We will be right back. And welcome back. At The Trend Live is our handle on Twitter. We're going to read your tweets. I promise we will. But right before the break, we were talking about the president's daughter and whether or not you believe that she used to sell Smokie Pasua na mayai sivo. Mariam is saying she's not boarding. She has said no.
I'm saying so. Apple tree right here. Apple never falls far from the tree, guys. If you believe that, I think you're truly being gullible, because this is a person who has had an escort and security for probably the last maybe 8-10 years of their life. You're telling me she was gongaing Smokie Pasua.
The escort was the one who was cutting the kachumbari.
Also, I just need one Daystar alumni. Just tweet us if you were in school at the same time as Charlene and you saw her doing that. Just tweet us.
Imagine Mariam, they have a lot of them have come out now to say that. So now they're actually corroborating your story that what was happening is she actually was not the one who was like ta nangapi nikuweke pilipili ama bila, no, but she was the owner of the business and she had employed people to do the thing for her.
Okay, that's fair. The story that she gave us though was not that she had a business where she was selling. It was that nilikuwa na cut. Nimetoka mbali. It was giving the same as one of our, I won't say whose stories. That's why I said apple and tree when he said, oh, I started with 200 chickens and then now I'm a billionaire. Come on guys, apple, tree. Same what's up.
You can't say this. You can say the same about the hustle. If the father hustled, then the child hustled as well.
I mean,
and wasn't my eye, so.
No, but you see, Kwach, when you're talking about kuanzisha hizi biashara, when you know, there's another guy hapa Klabu. I've forgotten his name, and he's very popular. what now Mariam is trying to say is that when you're starting that business, you have like a G.
Yeah.
Mbele nyuma, you know, and you slowly build it up.
Yes.
Not that you had capital of 100,000 and you don't even know where the eggs are coming from.
And then also,
you don't know.
Mtu akianza biashara ya nguo, it's like someone owning a boutique and saying, you know, when I was starting, nilikuwa nauzanga manguo, like it's a bad thing, while actually you are the boss of a huge. So maybe this is what also is
it's
coming.
like Elon Musk, you know, I'm a self-made billionaire. No, your dad gave you startup capital.
Or Trump like, says that my dad gave me a loan of $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, yeah, a small loan of $1 million. It's giving exactly that energy. Yeah.
But let's not take the credit away from her, because how many dynasty kids do we know that do not do actually anything? So if she decided to use the money to start a business...
Watch, the ones we know also don't say anything, just quietly living their best lives, vacationing in wherever, but they don't come and tell you that they had a Smokie Pasua business. So I'm taking the credit for that one.
Do you think she was trying to sound relatable?
Yes.
Okay. I think she was trying to sound relatable, but there is this privilege that comes across when children who are born with a silver spoon in their mouth. I remember the president's daughter was also, you know, she received backlash for giving career advice. Or is it business advice to university students, and guys were like, you have never slept hungry, you don't know what it is to, you know, to suffer. You are not in a position to give us any advice. So I think when she said it, she came from a good place, but fuel is 170 something. You know, your father is the head of the country and he's launched a fund that people are finding a little off. And here you are coming and saying that you are selling.
Let's all hustle.
It's all good to sell, and probably you did, but I think the timing was just wrong.
It's like when Kim Kardashian told us, just work hard. And
yes,
people are working hard day and night.
Girl, how did you become famous? Telling us to work hard.
Yeah. But also, I hope that one day in the future, we'll find a way to stop glorifying the thing of small businesses, because those small businesses, they feed a lot of us, yes. But the more we keep speaking about them being fine, the more we are not encouraging the small businesses to grow, like the guy who was chomaring Mahindi in Umoina, the guy who eventually owned 3, 4, 5 matatus. Let's do those kind of stories instead of promoting this 500 bob. Okay, I will go into the whole thing we spoke about last week, and I don't want to.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I completely do agree with Cindy. You know, there's so many people who you siku kama haujauza mayai, inamaanisha unalala njaa. Uko na watoto nyumbani, you will walk home because you can't even afford transport. You have to remember tomorrow. You know, the water, where you're going to get the water, how are you going to heat the water and boil the eggs? You know, so the pressure is so different. And then you doing it and hiring people, and then you hop in your range and then you go home. I think it's very different. But, you know, like Cindy said, it did come from a good place. She was trying to, you know, relate to you and explain how this whole hustling thing, how it can work for you. The dad is a hustler, and she's like, I'm also a hustler. And I can't believe I'm just saying the dad. I mean, the president.
We go for holidays and I thought, we are hustlers.
Let's move on,
but it's harder. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's true. It's true.
Na Mukumbuke Winnie Odinga said, call them by their names. They're not children. The president's daughter.
No, have you ever been hanging out with your boss? And this could be your boss from anywhere, because I don't only work here, right? So, and they try to talk to you about how life is difficult. And now they can relate to you. Oh my God,
and then they're like, you know.
Do you see the car you're driving?
You know, I was born and raised in Buru. And then in your head, you're like,
Buru.
Buru was a proper suburb in the 90s.